Christmasers, welcome back to the channel Christmasing Christmaser University. Sitting on the porch swing, listening to the light rain, decorating our Christmas tree because I'm allergic to it. I am allergic to the fresh tree. We did record one in studio for you, so if you're looking for a different tree ribboning, a tree tutorial, it's there for you, but this one's just gonna be fun times. And I won't require my inhaler for it, so let's go. First things first, I'm gonna give my tree just a little haircut. This tree has already had a good trim because, well, if you buy a fresh Christmas tree, you have to get a lot of good use out of it. So you know I've decorated it more than once. But in this particular spot, we're narrow on top. So I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna trim it up just a little bit. This may seem like a weird thing to do, but just trust me, it's not. These are real. You're not gonna find like the perfect branch structure. I'm going to do something kind of crazy. I'm going to put a bunch of picks in my tree because this is outside. It's like super organic. These are artificial picks. They're gonna make my tree look so pretty. And then I'm gonna do some light ribboning, just a very different feel. This is not your family Christmas tree with your heirlooms. You're not gonna put any heirlooms on it. It's outside. How am I gonna get a pick in? This is much different from what I like to call a real Christmas tree, which is the artificial. So when I refer to a real Christmas tree, I'm talking about the artificial. And this is what I would call the other Christmas tree. The one that so many of you like, and that's fine if you like it. I am allergic. Okay, so I'm going to take my wire and I put it through the pick and I twist it. And I just basically made the pick an ornament. Now the pick's an ornament because we need it to attach and I can't bend my branches because it's not a real tree. I want this right on the top and I have to wire it up there. And it's gonna stay because I made it an ornament. So this tree is very gappy. It's a little gappy tree. Even it was gappy before its haircut. So I'm going to fill the gaps and I'm filling the gaps with picks. So if you go to your tree lot, you pick out the tree, maybe it's got gaps in it because you went late or maybe you just had a cocktail first, I don't know. But if you did that and you need to fill your gaps, picks are a wonderful way to do it. Is it weird to put an artificial pick into your artificial Christmas tree? Just kidding. Your real Christmas tree, your fresh one, it is not weird and it fills holes. So if you're trying to figure out how the heck do you do that, this is it. I literally can't see this. I'm staring at the side, chit-chatting and thinking I know what it looks like, but I'm not gonna keep jumping up and down the step because I don't wanna get hurt today. Okay, so what I just did is I fixed the gaps. Most of them are hidden and gone. I'm gonna do a couple more on top with my pick ornaments. So on your tree, there is the trunk, which is the heart of the tree. Then there is the whole branch and all the little branches pop off the branch. The little branches are not to be used. They're not useful. They are just for the pretty. They are like acrylic nails. They don't hang things off of them. They might break. Maybe they're like press-on nails. That's a better analogy. But the branch is where you can put something. So if you are attaching anything to your tree, anything, it has to be attached to the offshoot branch. There's a lot of them in here though, and they're really strong. Even if your tree is indoors, even if your tree is not thriving because you like to run the heater, you know who you are, your tree will still decorate beautifully and stay beautiful if you use these inner branches. Because you can go through, even though I'm gonna put some ribbon on this, and you can spray your tree with water, you can hydrate it. I highly suggest if your tree is indoors, opening a window, giving your tree fresh air. Your tree really wants some fresh air. All of these things are good for the tree. The tree wants to live outside. That's why this tree, super happy to live on the porch. It's gonna be doing some porch sitting. Okay, I'm just gonna add one over here just so I have a balance in my textures that I added. Now, when you reach in your tree, you can feel those thicker branches, the ones that I want you to attach to. Instantly, I know which ones are good and which ones are bad. So if you don't need to put your face in the tree. It's not good for health. But if you just feel, close your eyes, you'll be able to feel and you can just twist things on there really easily. We're not overthinking too much here. Okay, now that I have fixed the top, totally fixed it. Ye have little faith. Or maybe you knew the whole time I was gonna fix it. I'm gonna go through and add the picks just down the tree because now that I created this texture, I need to continue it. I am gonna add ribbon to the tree. I already made all my bows to save us tons of time, but I'm going to do this just so that like the style will be half done. It's a half done style. I pre-made all my bows and I had them attached to the back of the tree. You could pre-make your bows and put them anywhere you want. I had approximately 15 yards of each ribbon. This is the same ribbon I used on the porch, so I'm just tying it through. The ribbon I'm not too concerned about. This is a linen. It's gonna be hefty and good outside if it gets a little wet. Same with the velvet. Velvet dries, still looks beautiful. And I'm gonna build a little ribboning pattern. I'm not gonna put a lot of ornaments on my tree. I am gonna put some ornaments on my tree. We're going for just a real, fresh, real natural Christmas tree. You got my ribbon in the top. I'm gonna work her down. My original loop is in the tree. I'm going to take my hand and wrap it around. When I wrap it around the ribbon real tight, I create my pinch, pleat, pucker. I'm gonna wrap my wire around it, give it a few twists. I want it really strong. And then I run my hand up, get my pot back, and I'm gonna take that wire into the tree. I'm going to attach it when I find one of my stronger middle branches. I'm gonna wrap it around one of those branches very gently, about 2 times. And that's how you ribbon a fresh Christmas tree. As I ribbon, I'm actually gonna, because I pre-made all my bows, so I'm going to put my velvet in at the same time. This is truly just to save time. The velvet is gorgeous and the velvet matches what I have going on over here. Already probably feels right at home here. My wire is on my tree and I'm gonna use it so I don't have to keep running back and forth. Even though we're having fun, we don't need to work harder than we need to work. And I want to ribbon fast. And the only way I can ribbon fast is if everything I need is accessible to me. And I'm gonna work around the tree. I already placed my picks in somewhat organic nature, even though I used a total pattern and it was very intentional. I'm just gonna run my ribbon through. I'm not gonna put too much thought into it. I'm not gonna step back and look at it. I'm gonna look and see where I think the branches will benefit best from my ribbon. How am I determining that? I just know. You'll know too though. Stop thinking about it. I'm gonna pull a couple ribbons out for the back so that I have enough ribbon. It'd be a smart thing to do. Watch my quantity. And when I'm doing this, I'm not looking at the tree. I'm reaching in, feeling the branch based on the thickness that I know it goes on, and that's how I'm doing this. I'm not sticking my head in the tree. I think that would just create all sorts of extra frustration. Ribbon is a fantastic way to fill gaps in trees as well. If we had a big gappy space, ribbon would be a fantastic way to fill it. If you didn't have picks or in addition to your picks, it's just fun. You don't have to use ribbon, but if you wanted to, I just wanted to show you how to do it. Not all my trees have ribbon. Isn't that wild? I somehow became known for ribbon, even though I don't always use it. I do love a luster velvet. That's what I'm using in this tree, it's luster. What's the difference? Luster velvet's just a little shinier, got a little more sheen, a little more sparkle. It's gonna be stunning when the street lights go by it. Everything about this feels Christmassy. We live in Los Angeles, so sometimes we have to like fabricate our own Christmas moments because it's so warm and hot. Even today, like this is a nice balmy day, but it's certainly not cold by any means. I was very dramatic with my sweater. And I always think when we bring in the garlands and all of these fun things, it's what you have in other parts of the world, except for Florida. I know it's really hot where you live. I think Brazil's pretty hot. I know we have Christmasers all over and they tell me all the time how, see, I didn't like that. Put it up there, I didn't like it, so I'm taking it off. If you put something somewhere and it doesn't feel like it's vibing, just pull it off, it's not a big deal. Don't overthink it, don't be mad at yourself, just move on. So in the summer when we are like sweating, and it's hard, I think it's hard for everybody when we're sweating, but it is especially hard for me because I have to be on the camera and I am not cute sweaty, but we are like so crazy and sweaty, and I always think if the Australian Christmasers can do it, I can do it. And I really always do think of you, Australian Christmasers. They love Christmas. I already had this one pinned, popping this back up just to get the loop back, but like, come on. This is too easy. The tree's really telling me where to put these ribbons. It's like I don't even have to try, really. Tree definitely is enjoying its ribbon moment. I'm not gonna put it here. I'm gonna put this one in the joint. Space-wise, if you wanted to pretty your loops, I don't know that you need to. I actually had put that in the tree to film the close-up for you. I would say 12 to 16 inches might be a good rule of thumb if you really like to plan ahead. When we film in our studio, like the boys play basketball and we're like, oh, like we're so sensitive to any small sound, and we're out here and it's just like, oh, it sounds just feels like normal. This feels like a normal time. If you reach in and you do not feel one of the heavier branches to connect to, you just need a longer piece of wire. That'll fix the problem. I always get asked, what are you using, what wire? Honestly, I'm using whatever wire I need. The need always feels a bit different. So I grab what I need and go for it. Now I'm working on the back. Of course, I'm gonna decorate the back of the tree. The back is just as important as the front. Maybe not to every eye, but to any tree owner's eye. You see that perimeter of your tree, and especially at the top, and you don't have any decorations back there, it's all you're going to see. Getting a count of my ribbons, what I have left, it's all I have, so I have to make it work. So I have a little bit of a gap here, a little hole. It's like 8 inch. I'm going to put the ribbon actually right above it. I'm tucking this ribbon under like a dripping ornament. putting it under, and that's how I'm gonna fill that. This linen snowflakes is a relative of our glitter snowflake ribbon. A nice alternative if you want something a little more rustic. I was lamenting, I was like, I just need one more piece of velvet. And Elf Kylie said it was down here, which is great because we needed it. So I am decorating the back like I would decorate the front, but it's not really the back if you're inside, because when the window's open, it's gonna look like the front of the tree. So this is it's a very important ribbon that's going up here. Totally recreated the back too, because it was also not, or second front if you live in the house. It was also needing those holes filled, but it looks pretty stunning. I'm going to add shatterproof. They're very lightweight. These are commercial shatterproof, made to be outside, also UV protected, just in case you were wondering. And I'm going to add them in, just in some holes right here, like this. Make a little pattern all around the tree. I have 6. These are little gift card holders. They came in a set of 3. I put one in the back on the garland, but then we just poked them through with an owl tool, my favorite tool, an owl. And Kyle's snobby about how you say that, and ran some wire through it and made an ornament. So I only have 2 of them, but I'm gonna add them in because it's just gonna tie everything together and it will be sweet. This feels like a very custom touch, and that is why I like it. Especially custom because it's about skiing and the homeowner likes to ski. I have matte ornaments and I have shiny, still staying with my shatterproof. I have 5-inch, I have 6-inch, and I have 3-inch. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna load her up. When I'm trying to fill a hole, I put the ornament in a little further back and I attach it to the top and I make it look like it's dancing, even though it's not. But it does exactly what it's supposed to do. And as the branches start to fall, all these won't because we're outside, but as your branches indoors start to fall, the ornaments will continue to fill space and they're not gonna weigh things down too much. So we're definitely not connecting here. If that's no, no. And that's how it's done. Christmas series, I do a lot of porch sitting with you. You don't know that, but when I'm answering you on Instagram, all your DMs, I sit on the porch with you. I love Christmasing with you. Thank you for Christmasing with me today.